I went to a communications high school in Houston, Jack Yates High School, Magnet School of Communications. And so we had a television program, a radio program, with our print program. And when I was there, television was my main thrust. But again, I looked at it differently. I looked at the whole piece differently. I often say that, that God gave me the foresight in terms of where we were going to go when I was 14, 15. Now I remember going to the studio and all of the students rushed to the set. Lights got turned up, they all rushed to the set. And I stood there and I turned to the teacher and said, it was Mary Waits, I said, where does the person sit who tells them what to do? She said, they sit over there in the control room. I said, I'll be in the control room. Because my deal was, everybody can't be on camera. I want to be in control of the product, shaping the product. And so that's why I went there. So my whole focus even then, I was very clear. I mean, I knew at 14 what I wanted to do. So, and I'll be 46 November 14th. In 32 years, I never changed. So I've never been one to, okay, I want to do this and do that. No, it's been very clear I'm doing media. But for me, it was never, I have to be in front of the camera. And everybody who I talked to, other people who were producers, who were executive producers, who were news directors, people like Paula Walker Madison, who came to Houston and she was news director at KHOU, the CBS affiliate. She said, short money's in front of the camera, long money's behind the camera. For me, it has always been about skill assessment and skill building. I remember going through running various newspapers, running blackamericaweb.com, where even then, from 2001 to 2003, I was doing online video, online audio, all those different things that were becoming hugely popular 8-9 years. And so there have been, in fact, when I ran the Chicago Defender, we launched the first we were the first black news source. There was no black television network, radio station, or newspaper or magazine that had launched an audio podcast. We launched the first one in 2005. The next year we launched the first black news source and launched a video podcast. That's 2005, 2006. Again, way ahead of the game. And so it was, and I remember going through all this sort of stuff, and I'm in Dallas, and so I go apply for this job at an NPR station. So they're sitting here looking at me and they're going, and literally they ask, okay, so you're a nationally syndicated columnist and you are, my goodness, you run 3 newspapers and you're doing all these different things. Why are you applying for this general assignment reporter at this NPR station? And I said, easy. I said, because the type of long form radio you do, I won't be able to do. And they literally would not hire me because they thought I was too overqualified, but they didn't understand. I don't view it as I'm too overqualified. That was a certain skill set that was different than what I had previously done, and I wanted to know how to do that. This whole idea today of contributors, I had that vision in 99, 2000 before they even did it. So when I sat with Henry, I said, I don't want to be either one of those. Because they were not there in terms of a hybrid. Here's what they had. They had people who were political analysts, but they didn't have journalists who could do analysis, who had opinion, who had a point of view, but who also were journalists who could do stories, do interviews, shoot stuff, and do their own. So it didn't exist. And so it took. And so I remember him saying, well, we have these different shows, we can get you on. That's exactly what I said. I said, you might call this arrogant. I said, you book me one time, I guarantee you're going to book me on again. I knew you book me one time, I'm going to light the screen on fire. That's exactly what happened. But here's the thing, though. It was a 4.5-year period between first appearance and actually getting a deal from CNN. But I didn't let CNN also define me. But it wasn't like, okay, I got to do this. It was literally, I understood this is the brand I'm trying to create and build. This is the path I'm taking. Because I knew you have to walk through one door to get to all the other doors. But if you don't establish, this is my lane, this is what I want to do. So that's why I tell people, why are they going to book you? Folks like, I wonder what you do. Why? What are you going to talk about? I can talk about anything. They're not going to call you. What is your expertise? What is your focus? And so when it was anything black, I was talking to those people, so I could speak on it because that's the lane I was in. So I drove down that one-way street that opened up into a highway. The game has changed. First of all, it used to be you needed somebody who opened that door. You don't need it now. And the reality is social media has changed that. What has changed that now is, remember, you're talking about 2000, you had gatekeepers. So you had people who get gatekeepers. So who do I know there who can get me booked into a show? Now, all of a sudden, you write something, somebody tweets it, it goes around, somebody else sees it, you're booked. And so the key though, and this is the key, beyond skill set, beyond networking, beyond knowledge, beyond understanding the game, if you do not have work ethic, this will not happen. Literally that means, this actually happened. I am sitting at an NABJ convention in Dallas, Texas, talking about what it takes for you to be one of the people who is called to be, they call it a talking head. My deal is I'm a journalist. In the panel, literally, we're in the middle of the panel, I get called to do CNN. They mixed up something earlier and they were late. They say, oh, we thought somebody had called you. We go live in 10 minutes. I say, folks, I gotta go. I leave the panel, get out the door, take a cab. Luckily, the production house was only 5 minutes away. But the point of the panel was always be ready. So I would tell people, I would leave 2 suit jackets in my car and a shirt and a tie. Because you never know when you got called. People don't understand you have to work at it. Folks like, oh my goodness, I mean, you get people from Scandal and Shondaland, they send you packages and stuff of these exclusive gifts from Scandal. Well, the reality is, because I allowed to tweet the show, and I was one of the first folks, so not just, I know Kerry Washington, but literally, I did it because I wanted to, but it is morphed into, oh, Essence Magazine does a list and say, here are 15 people we all want to watch television with because of what they say. The point is, if I don't tweet it, none of that happens. Right. If I'm not actively engaging people on these social media platforms, then my clout score is not almost at 80, which is higher than a bunch of other people who are much bigger celebrities. So the point is, you have to work.